Yo guys, what's going on? It's Catman227 here, and I'm back with some more gameplay breakdown. Now today we're taking a look at Tracer. Now, Tracer is one of those niche heroes that sometimes she's good, sometimes she's bad. She's had a couple of reworks, nerfs, and buffs over the years, but I think I finally figured out a great method for using her in Junkensteins Revenge. Now, the first thing, and the most controversy, is her blinks, her teleport. You know the ones. So, the difficult part about using those is you need to know. First of all, a lot of Tracer mains will know this, where sometimes you'll use all your blinks, and right when you really need to use it, you don't have it. And it does regenerate quickly. However, when things, especially in Endless, get a little hectic, then you're going to need to rely on getting across the map. Because unlike Cassidy and unlike Hanzo and unlike Soldier, actually, unlike everybody, Tracer has the shortest range in the game. Even Brigitte has a longer range with her whip shot ability. So Tracer needs to be constantly using maneuverability all the time in order to actually, get some level of usage out of the blinks. So what you're going to need to do is, or at least what I would do is, right where I'm at right here in this footage is where you should be most of the time, by the burning cart. Or at least down that little stretch right there. So you walk back and forth here, you listen for rip tires. Don't necessarily go out of your way to get the rip tires, because like I said before, there's a lot of other ranged characters that can, pretty much everybody is good for taking out rip tires, but it's just some characters prioritize it over some others. Tracer really shouldn't be going after the rip tire at all unless it's like right next to her in some form or fashion. Well, then yeah, go ahead and shoot at it and kill it, but whatever. But if it's like across the map from you, you should not be going after that. I've seen lots of Tracers get out of a really good position that they're in to blink and teleport all across the map and waste all their abilities. But I would not necessarily do that. Now, one thing you could do, this will even help you out in quick play and in competitive, is when you're reloading, you blink. So by the time the blink animation is up, you're fully reloaded. So try to time your reload with your blink, because it'll really help. Because like, if you're out of ammo, you can reload, blink towards an enemy, and by the time you blink towards the enemy, you're fully reloaded. So try to do that, and that'll help you play Tracer in general, not just, in Junkenstein's Revenge, but in all game modes. Also, as soon as you run out of ammo, get used to meleeing. Even though you kill the target, still throw out a melee. Get yourself in a habit of every single time you run out of ammo, melee. Do a melee every single time. Even if the enemy's dead from the guns, always try to melee, because it's going to get you into that habit of doing it every single time. So yeah, you're going to be meleeing even when you don't need to, because the enemy's dead from your guns. But like I said before, it's just trying to train your brain to always use a melee. It's kind of like D.Va, D.Va's really good at finishing people off, because it's a lot quicker to just throw out a melee and get that kill, because melee is 30 damage, so you can just instantly kill a target if they're 30 health or below, which you can't exactly see, and I know that's kind of like, it's kind of weird because you don't know exactly what health they're at, but like right here, I could have meleeed that guy. I could have blinked to him and meleeed, and it probably would have been a little quicker than waiting for the reload, and then, so always try to melee. Melee is your best friend with Tracer. Now, your rewind isn't really going to matter much until you reach the much, much later rounds, because I find that it really is only good for healing yourself. So if you're playing Tracer, because Tracer has the lowest health in the game, so you really do need to you need to save your recall. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You need to really save that ability, because it can save your ass if you're in endless. Like, I know I'm not doing endless in most of these footages that I'm releasing, but I was just trying to hurry up and record footage. Plus, I had a busted controller with most of these, so yeah. Anyway, but yeah, she has the lowest health in the game, so you really want to like save it until you really get into low health, and then use the recall to get most of your health back. You're not going to get it all back, but you can get at least most of it back. So you really want to try to use your recall to heal yourself, especially if your healers are just not doing it. Because I know there are some times where you get these healers and they don't do shit, they don't help you, they don't give a fuck about you. So, and when that happens, like, obviously I'm playing with, all of my friends in this lobby. We're all communicating, and we always have a healer on board, whether that's Zen, whether that's Ana, whether that's Baptiste, it doesn't matter. We always have a healer, and we're all constantly communicating. But, sometimes you go with these randoms, and they just don't heal at all, and they don't communicate, they don't talk to you. So if you're going to play Tracer, try not to use your recall hardly at all unless you absolutely need to use it, because it can really draw out a fight for a long time if you can use it correctly. Because if you just start spamming it, then when you really need it, you're just going to end up getting killed, for the simple reason that you wasted your ability when you didn't need it. Then when you do need it, you don't have it. It's kind of the same thing with the blinks. You really need to manage her abilities. Like, Tracer is not a character where you can just start spamming shit. Like Hanzo, you can spam his ability, you can spam McCree's abilities, you can spam a lot of these characters' abilities, and it really doesn't hurt you all that much. But with Tracer, you really, really have to know what you're doing, and you really, really, really need to time your abilities to synergize with everything. Because if you just start throwing abilities out willy-nilly, not giving a fuck, then you're really going to start to suffer in those later rounds. It might be okay for like the first half of the game, but when you reach that second half of Endless, you're in for a fucking ride. So, now, Pulse Bomb. I haven't spoken about Pulse Bomb at all, because that is probably your most important ability to use with Tracer. Because she is not good for, or her ultimate is not good for crowd control. Let me rephrase that. She is really good for crowd control, and that's pretty much the only thing you should be doing unless there's a Riptire. And bosses, she's really good for taking out bosses. She can harass Mercies really well, so try to harass the Witch as much as possible. So when the Witch comes out, you better be like laying into her with headshots and everything. And if you have a Zenyatta, it makes it even better. So, now the Pulse Bomb. I am not good at using Pulse Bomb at all. I am absolute dog shit. Like, just recording this footage, I'm really good with, using Tracer's other abilities. The only thing I've always struggled with was the Pulse Bomb, because it has a very weird throwing distance. Like, you don't throw it very far at all. But one thing you can do to make it go a little further, if you really want to like toss it a far distance, is kind of walk forward, so push forward and walk in a straight line forward, lift your analog stick or just your crosshair up in the air, and pop alt. Just pop your alt and toss it out, and it'll go further. Or what you can do is you can flick upwards, so you can walk forward, flick your crosshair upwards, and at the same time toss out your ultimate. But the main thing you should be using it on is bosses. You should really learn to stick it to a boss, because it'll do maximum damage. So, if you guys have enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know which character you want me to review next. And I will catch you guys in the next episode. Later.